Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be my first Madden 26 video of the year, but I'm going to be talking about my launch offense. So I have always been, or not always, but for the past few years I have been in U-Chip, so the Patriots playbook. Last year was called Wild Chips Pats, and that's what the name was for the past like 4 or 5 years. I want to say probably like 7, 8 years ago, something around there. Back in the day, like on the last gen console, like 360 PS3, it was called U-Trips, but it previously only existed in the Patriots playbook, and now we have it in the Falcons, the Patriots, and the Chargers, and then additionally we have it in the Bills playbook under a different name. So the Bills version is really good. So I think if you want to run U-Trips, either run the Bills version or run the Falcons version. So I'm going to show the Falcons version here. But like I said, all these plays I'm gonna break down for the most part. I think they're in all the other playbooks too. But I just like the other formations that are in Atlanta more than what I like in Buffalo, Chargers, and then Patriots as well. So we have bunch, which you know is really good. We have both bench pivot and dig return, and then we have bunch tight end. So we have the mesh play, and then we have also the RPO alert bubble. So good to mix that in, and then bunch offset. We get these cheat motion plays. So I'm not gonna break down any of these in today's video, but I just want to show you guys. And then tight flex and then tight Y off are both solid formations as well. But jumping back over to U-Chips, my audibles go scat, halfback power, slot out, and then tight end whip. And then my base plays, the play I come out in more than likely is Y option wheel. Sometimes I'll throw in that X curl play, and then yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to like when I come out in. And in the red zone, I'm gonna show you why I like motion corners. But just to start, we're gonna start Y option wheel. And I'm gonna show you guys why it's really good. So a lot of people, we know they basically run cover three or cover four for the most part as their base defense. You kind of can get toasted if you run cover two too much because that middle of the field can kind of get open. So I'm just gonna come out and cover four drop if I can find it. So here is Y option wheel. So my favorite setup, it's not a quick snap setup, but it is really, really good. So streak your tight end in route, or you can even return route your outside receiver. I love that we have return routes now. And then you just motion this guy across, and then watch this running back wheel. You can kind of sneak that in, and it's a really, really, really easy 5 yards. And they basically have to stop this one. You basically have to have like a 5 yard hook right there or user it. So this play, this setup, at least, that wheel route is going to be taken away by cover two, but this is just a really good setup. And the other setup I really like is something like this. So this doesn't need that auto motion, but you can kind of run that sail concept to the right and then fit it into that soft spot. And then if they're hard flatting, obviously wait a little longer, throw it over the top. Or if they put their zone jobs shorter, or I mean deeper, hit this flat route. And then also this this short post on the left. So if you notice the post, it breaks a little bit more shallow than the hot routed post. So this is the hot routed post, and if I reset play, you see this one's a slightly more shallow. But it's a really good post because it gets underneath the deep zones, but over top of those shallow zones. So a lot of times, so absolutely did not work on this last play. But if we go back to like kind of that first setup that I showed you guys, if I try to like double team this guy, you can kind of at times get a really good rollout, and you see you can make this throw a lot. I try to normally play a little bit more methodical and not try to focus on the rollout. But like I said, this concept here, motion this guy out or motion this guy across, and then we're reading basically 1, 2, 3, and you see I'm able to throw that post right there. So that setup is really good. And then another good setup is drag your tight end, and then you can no longer hitch route the slot receiver, but you can just put him on a curl and stem him down a couple times. So that's what I like to do here. So a lot of times you can sneak this in, and as you can see, with that hitch route, it pulls down that hook defender, so it's ultimately going to open up this throw here a lot more. So let's run that one more time. I'm so used to hitting right trigger to put that hitch route right there, but this is gonna be the route combo. So boom, and we see him break, and then we can hit our post right there. But a lot of times, if this flat defender on the right isn't a hard flat, he'll just completely vacate the hitch. Like I'll show you guys here. So let me audible this guy to a hard flat, shade down real quick, and then you can just throw that quick a lot of times. The next setup is double drags. I'm not gonna show you guys, but show you guys too many times. But this double drags concept is really good because a lot of times the user, they're gonna chase that first drag, and then I'm a big proponent of good pocket, and you can either make that high-low read on those two drags that you have on the right with that post coming across. So you see he's playing super shallow, so we're still going to be able to sneak that in a lot of the times. And then additionally, last one I want to show you before we move on to the next one is you can just hot route that receiver on the left into a flat route as well, and that'll kind of open up your wheel route right in that little pocket there. So the next one we're going to talk about is tight end whips. So I like to a lot of times put a flat route on my running back, and then also put a flat route on Mark Andrews here, and then run something like this. So you see you kind of have the high-low between the whip route by the tight end and then the that short post on the outside. So once again, boom, make that throw there. And then you can also, if you wanna, you can also streak this guy, and that'll kind of open up that pocket by that short post on the right a lot more, and then it'll also clear out for the post on the left. But it won't pull out the flat zone as well as a flat route will. So keep that in mind when you're running this setup. But as you can see, we got this wide open now. And then another thing that I think a lot of people don't know is, so if you have any plays with stock tight end whips, a lot of them can be hot routed. So you can do something like this with your tight end whip. So it's really good against man coverage too. But if I do something like that, it's like super delayed, and it gets in a super weird spot of the defense a lot of times. But I just wanted to let you guys know that you can hot route this whip route. So even if you just do it like up 1 or 2 times, make it go to 5 yards instead, and you just try to get it open right there. I just think it's a really good concept. My favorite is also now we have running back corner routes. So if you notice they're hard flatting a lot, or if they are running a lot of cover 2, you kind of have a high-low on the left side of the field. You can also do a zig kind of if you want, but we're just gonna keep this one here. So this time hard flats. I'm gonna show you. You can hit your running back on that corner route. And then next play is Scat. So this is a really good corner route that Higgins is on right here. So you can either do like a zig, like this, or you can kind of just out route him. And I will oftentimes stem him down one time just to like space it out a little more. And then on this backside, you can do like a crosser, or a post, or even like a deep dig. So I really like something like this. Or you can even do the that corner route and flat route combo from the running back that I showed you on the last play. But this combo is as old as it gets. You can kind of throw that. I kind of probably better to hit the out route here, but I just wanted to show you guys the deeper throw for the sake of this video. But you see, you kind of freeform that up a little bit. And then another really good thing about this play is this running back wheel. So I really love the running back wheel. So the Y option wheel, and then this wider wheel route is really good in short yardage situations. They basically have to throw a hard flat out there, but you can basically just read that side of the field. So either this kind of like hook route or that wheel, and if they don't have a hard flat, you're gonna be able to a lot of times just throw this out there and pick up easy yards. And I also really like a setup like this. It's kind of like a spacing concept for short yardage type situations, but it's kind of hard to cover all that stuff because like they're all spread out, but they're still kind of close to one another. So even something like this, put this guy inside deeper posts, or excuse me, deeper curls, and then just run it like that. So yeah, that's Scat. Not my favorite play, but that I will say that running back wheel route is really, really, really good. And then the next one we want to talk about is slot out. So this one's really good because it can bomb cover 3. So just to show you against cover 3. So if you put this guy on a speed out on the outside, this X receiver, and then stem him up 2 times, hopefully I don't get absolutely actually, I'm just shade. Excuse me, I'm gonna just spy everybody. So hopefully I don't get annihilated. But as you can see, this is the setup. You can kind of do whatever you want with the other receivers on the field. But as you can see, like, you're not necessarily selling out for this bomb. So you can just run this play until your opponent comes out in a cover 3 and mix it in. And as you can see, we can hit this post here if we get a decent ball. But you saw that that was kind of a tight throw. So if you streak that slot receiver on the right, and then like I said, just speed out on the left, stem him up 2 times, snap this one. He takes forever on that one. But as you can see, I don't know why he couldn't get, he keeps getting stuck on the line, which normally does not happen. But let me try to, all right, so here we go. Something like this, really good setup. Hopefully he doesn't get stuck on the line that time. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want. And then we're able to throw it, and we finally get the bomb. So he kept on getting stuck on the line for whatever reason. But as you can see, the play is open. And then another good setup is this route is really, really good. This tight end route is really, really good to stem. So if you stem it down, you can kind of do something like this, where it's just really hard for the user to cover all of this, and he kind of still gets into a soft spot of the zone. You can throw him there. But yeah, that's my main setup for this play. And then also you can like flat route, kind of treat it just like tight end whips, where you know that short post on the right is kind of the main thing of this offense. And then you can kind of make that read, hit that little soft spot, and then just mix it up between the few plays that I've showed you. So those are my main setups when it comes to slot out. But I really like it because, like I said, it can bomb cover 3. And next we're gonna show this X curl play and this deep slot curl. So you're gonna see you can kind of run them kind of similar. It kind of just depends what you want to do on that backside. But to start, I'll just show you guys deep slot curl. And if your opponent is in a cover 3, you can always basically throw these comeback routes. So I like to streak my slot receiver, and then I stem the tight end route down all the way because it just creates more space between the slot receiver and the tight end. But as you can see, you can make these throws all day. So on the left side of the field, you kind of do whatever you want there. But because there's nothing stopping the curl flat from dropping, that one's normally not open. But you see, we got this one here like all day. I guess I'll take it back. I guess the one on the backside kind of is open. It just depends on kind of the zone drops that your opponent has set. So if you throw it on the break, that is kind of open. As you see, we got a bad ball, but that is definitely open. And then you can always Texas route your running back, do something like this, do a drag, deep curls. These are all good setups, in my opinion. So stuff like this, and you can throw these deep curls. These deep curls by your slot or by that solo side receiver are really, really good. And then X curl is another really good setup. So I basically run it the exact same way that I showed you guys that other play, except I would just out route Xavier Worthy, stem him up 2 times, and then we basically have the same concept, except we have that out route on the left instead of a comeback route. Or I guess out routes by both of them instead of comeback routes by both of them. So I do it, you can kind of throw it on the break right there and pick up nice gains. I mean, the last one I want to talk about is double ends. So we're going to talk about a couple more of these other plays when it comes to just like freestyling. But this double ends play is another just like play you can come out in. So just gonna pick cover 3, and I like this play pretty much only because of this running back route. So everything else on the field, I normally will end up hot routing. So I've kind of showed you guys some of the stuff I like going to. But this running back route is also stimmable. So it can kind of get into a lot of weird places that people aren't expecting for a running back route. But I did not mean to snap that one there. But if you don't stem it, you can kind of go streak, crosser, and then something like this, a return route by your slot receiver. So this is a good concept. So we can hit that running back out route. Like I said, this running back route, when you stem it, it's actually really good against man. So if you get enough time in the pocket, you can kind of block your tight end. If they're running a lot of like mid blitz or cover 0 or anything, this running back route is actually really good. And a lot of people are not going to be expecting a deep out route by the running back. So now those are kind of all of my base concepts that I really like against zone. When it comes to beating man, I'm just going to show mid blitz. So the first thing I want to talk about is, of course, tight end whip. So tight end whip, this whip route is really good. So if there's stock shading outside, then the whip route will be bagged. But that is why I like throwing a drag route in by Higgins here. So if I walk this guy in, of course, if you guys don't know how to block mid blitz, all you have to do is when you're on defense, block either your running back or your tight end. So here I block my running back. And then you just want to hit hold LB, hit untarget defender, and then move it to whoever the user defender is. And then when it comes to mid blitz, you're gonna see we get this whip route open, and then that post route. We also saw does a really good job of beating man. So pretty much everything is open. I kind of bumped the. You see the whip route kind of bumps the drag. So it's kind of like a mesh concept, but on the same side of the field. And then also versus mid blitz, I really like this slot out play, and I want to show you guys why. So you can also do this out of tight end whip, but like I said, motion this guy or block your running back, base protect, and then untarget the user defender. So it comes to this play, just hot route this slot receiver on a corner route, leave him stock. And then your outside receiver on the right, stem him down 1 yard by hitting the deep, or not the D-pad. You want to hit your left stick down one time. So if you hit the D-pad down, that'll stem him down 5 yards. But we want to do it 1 yard. And then, hopefully I don't get screamed at here. But you see we get that bump. And I didn't throw the ball, but I'm going to pause it. And you see T. Higgins, he bumps and creates extra separation for Xavier Worthy. So this is obviously if they're playing off man coverage. So I'm going to do it one more time. So stem him down 1 yard, standard hot route corner, and then I'm just going to base protect, block my running back, and then just watch as we get that bump. So it's not every single time, but it does happen quite often, and you'll get big plays out of it. And lastly, Y option wheel and especially Scat are really good against mid blitz. So I'm going to choose mid blitz, and like I said, if you mix in between blocking your running back and blocking your tight end, a lot of people they're just going to use the guy who's covering the running back. So if I base protect here, and then I do something like this, you'll see we have our tight end. This is like literally just to play stock. We have our tight end on that block and release. But he goes so flat that the user, if you throw it on the snap, they really can't get out there. I would just say you have to kind of be careful because if they start adjusting and they put this guy on a flat, hard flat or man him up, maybe he can make a play on the ball. But I just wanted to show you guys that one. And then when it comes to these motion plays, the reason why I like it against mid blitz is we're gonna notice that it messes with the defense's adjustments. So I'm gonna choose mid blitz, and I'm gonna choose motion corners. So as we see here, the most basic mid blitz setup, you just come down, you walk, you stand over this, right? So what do? We base protect, and then we un-ID this guy, and then for this example, we're going to block our tight end. But what we're going to notice is we look at the responsibilities of the defense. When I snap this ball here, it swaps. So if your opponent is not paying attention, you can make that throw. But even if they are paying attention, and you walk this guy down, and then I'm going to try to click off of it. I only have two hands here and two controllers, so it is tough. But I'm going to try to keep this guy in the box here. So once you snap it and you notice they're probably going to click off, and you're going to see he's going to fry more likely than not if we get a good ball. And then good mix in as well is this this double move play. So this motion halfback corner, he also does get open on the outbreak, but it's just not going to be as open. But you guys can go ahead and play around with that one. And then this motion wide poco, I'll show you guys that one as well. But like I said, as soon as they see you motion across, they're probably going to switch off. So it'll be something like this. Let me set my protection. They're going to see the responsibilities flip. And if we get time in the pocket, you see the double move. Doesn't get super open here, but also have a bad tight end. But you guys get the idea here. And then lastly, before I get into the red zone portion of the video, I just want to show you guys some good freestyle concepts. So we already talked about this on the right side of the field. But something I really like as well is, actually I'm gonna reset the play real quick and come out in zone coverage. So this is a play that I didn't talk about, but it's a solid play. But I really like something that a lot of people probably don't run, is you do something like this, where it's like a double streak, and I promise it looks ugly, but it ends up working a lot better than it looks. So we're going to be able to snap this one, and then you can kind of freeform this B down and get in a super soft spot at the zone. And then you can mix that in with kind of what I showed you guys earlier between, actually I don't know if I showed you guys this earlier, but a post and a curl route are both really good. You can kind of throw that there. So those are two like really good like freestyle type things that you can do. And then other than that, I really like doing that same thing, but just switching who you do it with. So sometimes you put the guy you motion over on the curl, and that was not open. And then other times you put this guy on the drag, and then you put the guy on the solo side on the curl, and then do something like that. So he's gonna run that, and then ultimately we get that open eventually. So just don't be afraid of freestyle. Like, this is just kind of the outline of the offense. It's up to you to kind of get creative. And like I said, deeper curls are actually really good in this game. So if you can get something like this, and even do something like this, there's just a lot of stuff you can do in this offense. And then next, we're going to hop into the red zone portion of the video. So the play I'm going to pick is this motion just this motion corners play. And you see this route all the way on the right by the outside receiver. It's really good. And they basically have to run man to stop this route. Like, any zone coverage they come out in, let me just move this ball here. Any zone coverage they come out in, when you have this route on the field, it's going to get open. So it's kind of like a delayed slant. I don't know what else to call it. But what I like knowing, Big Tay was running this. It wasn't out of this formation, but he was in U-trips, and it was in the Patriots playbook. But you could audible over from U-trips to a play that had the same route on the outside. But basically, do something to take attention away from this guy on the right. And you could do out route, stem him down. You can do flat route, anything like that. But just watch how I snap this ball. He stops, and then he just settles into that soft spot. So this is a really good short yardage play. Obviously, you can't go to it always. I kind of like saving this one, just having it deep in my my back pocket for when I really need it. So I don't really use it as a base play. But as you can see, it's really good and gets into that soft spot of like cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, whatever zone they're going to come out in. And then next one, Y option wheel. So if we stem down this post, and then we do something like this, and then I like putting T on a curl like this, and then when we motion him across, you're gonna see he kind of settles into a really soft spot as well. So motion or snap it right about there. You can throw that. I don't know why he didn't curl, but you guys see that that is indeed open. So you don't even have to necessarily keep him on a post route. That guy on the right, where I have DK, I want to say his name is, but you can do something like this as well, and then make that. I don't know why he just moved out the way, but you guys. So that's kind of what I like running in the red zone, and then Scat is also really good in the red zone. So kind of do that same type of thing. Swap these guys sometimes. So before we had Dyke, DK, whatever his name is, running the post. This style we can motion this guy over and have him run the post, and you see you can kind of throw that post in that middle part of the field. But ultimately, that's gonna be it for my kind of U trips mini scheme. So I'm probably gonna talk a little bit about bunch and bunch tight end, as well as bunch offset, bunch spread in future videos. But if you watch this far in the video, big thank you to you. And I'll catch you in the next one.